Hey guys, Josh here and welcome back to Rune Factory 5. So today's video is going to be a quick guide on children in Rune Factory 5. So I'm going to be covering how you can have children, how many children you can have, and what are your different options. And we're also going to check out the differences between the childbirth event with an opposite sex marriage as well as a same-sex marriage, so we can see all the differences. And yes, let's just get started. So before you can have children in Rune Factory 5, you need to get married, and I did made a video on how you can get married in Rune Factory 5, so check that out if that's not already done. So 20 days after your wedding day, if you talk with your spouse, they will tell you that they are interested in starting a family, and they will ask you if you're interested as well. So you've got two options here, so you can say yes, you're interested, or no, you just want to stay as a couple for now. So in this game, you're not forced to having children, which is nice to have this option. So if you tell your spouse you're not ready quite yet, they will ask you one more time the next week. So if you talk to them sometime the next week, they will initiate this conversation again, and you can just tell them you're not ready and it will just postpone it. So if you never want to have children, that's definitely something you can do in this game. And if you want to have children, of course, just tell them that you're interested. And so that's the first step in having a child in Rune Factory 5. So you just gotta make sure that you wait at least 20 days after your wedding day. If you wait 30 days or 40 days, the dialogue is still gonna be there, so it doesn't have to be exactly 20 days, but it needs to be at least 20 days. So anyway, once that conversation is done, we need to wait 2 more weeks. Alright, so 2 weeks later, if you told your spouse in the previous event that you are interested in expanding your family, then next time you talk with them, it will trigger the second baby event. So you just talk to them, and so your spouse will tell you that she's not feeling very well, so you guys are gonna go to the clinic. Next, there's gonna be a cutscene at the clinic with Simon, and of course the dialogue is gonna change whether you are playing as the female or the male character. So in this case here, Simone is checking up on Lucy, and she tells her that she's not sick, and in fact she's pregnant, and she tells her to be careful and not to work too hard. And yeah, it's just a cute little cutscene. And then after the cutscene, you need to speak with your spouse once again. They will ask you if you think you're gonna have a boy or a girl. So here you can choose whether you're gonna get a boy or a girl, or you can say either way. So if you choose like either way, either a boy or a girl, it's gonna be random, but if you want to choose, you can choose. After selecting the gender of the baby, you're gonna be able to choose their personality. So for the boy, there's 3 personality types. There's charming, active, and quiet. And for the girl, there's energetic, mature, and quiet. And depending on the personality that you pick, the appearance of the child will be different. Make sure you look up which is your favorite child, so you can pick their personality and gender that matches them. So I guess for today's video, we can pick charming. So we're gonna have a charming boy for our first child. Alright, so 3 weeks later is the big day. So if you change your mind and you don't want to have kids anymore, just never talk to your spouse again, because the next time you're gonna talk to them, it will trigger the cutscene. So basically you tell them that you can't wait to meet your child, and I'm not sure what's happening with Lucy's portrait here. I don't know if that's a bug or not. But anyway, she's not feeling well, so she's gonna give birth. So you guys go back to the clinic, and there's gonna be this little cutscene, and here's the baby. And also I should point out that the first child that you have will always have the main character's hair color. So yeah, the first child will look a lot like the main character. Then you can pick a name. Also, there's gonna be names by default depending on the personality that you pick. So this one is Eris, and I'm gonna leave it like this. Then you get this little screen, and it tells you that everybody in town was very warm and welcoming to your baby, so you just show your baby to everyone. And then after that, it's kind of sudden, but after the cutscene, there's actually a few years that pass, and there's your child. So in Rune Factory 5, there's no baby stage. It's only a baby for the cutscene, and right away your child is 5 years old. And he looks really, really cute, by the way. So you get this little cutscene. This is so adorable. So that's how you can have your first child in Rune Factory 5. And then you kind of wake up the next day, and if you take a look at the calendar now, you will see that we're now on year 7. So I was on the 2nd year at first, but now I'm on year 7. So you skip 5 years. Rest assured that your fields, like if you had any crops in your field, they're still gonna be there. So nothing else is gonna really change in town. And you will see the birthday of your child will be on the calendar, so you can't forget it. So 20th day of winter for this one. So basically you can kind of choose their date of birth, because the last event will trigger when you talk to your spouse. So if I really wanted, for example, to have my child be born on a certain date, I could just wait for that day before I trigger the cutscene and talk with my spouse for the last time before the baby is born. So that kind of allows you to choose the birth date if you're interested. And as you can see, my child is not here, so there's a little bed here. Let's check our relationship here. So you can see you will start at relationship level 10. That's so cool, because in Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town, you couldn't really interact or have any kind of relationship with your kid, but here you can. You just need to find him. I have no clue where he is. So actually, just like the other characters, you can see your child on the map. So let's go see how he's doing. So he's just chilling here. He's really cute, really small. And one thing that's a little bit odd is that there are other kids in this game. There's Julian and Hina, but even after 5 years, I don't think they grow up. So let's go check on Julian, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the exact... Yeah, he's the exact same as he was 5 years ago. So or your child is almost gonna catch up to him, but actually your child cannot grow more than that, so he's always gonna stay like 5 years old. Also, the very first day after all of these cutscenes is a little bit different than usual. So on normal days, so you always wake up at 6 a.m. in Rune Factory 5. So your child is gonna stay in the bed. He looks very stiff, but anyway, he's gonna be sleeping until 7. And then usually at 7, he's gonna sit at this table, read some book, and then he's gonna do his thing during the day. So he should be waking up at any minute. Now let's see how that goes. Alright, there he is. So he woke up at 7:07 and he's gonna go sit on his little chair. So I just want to test out. So I tried to look. Oh, actually he's drawing today, so I think he can do different activities. And I tried to look up their likes and dislikes for the children, and it was really kind of hard to find. I feel like no matter what you give them, they will always say the same thing, like, oh, thank you so much for the present, I'm happy. And it will give them a few percent. So I'm still trying to discover what their likes and dislikes are. I'm not sure if it changes depending on their gender or personality, but it seems like they like pretty much anything. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy to maintain your relationship. And yeah, he's standing up right now. Also, one more thing you can do with the child, you can of course chat with them, but you can invite them to your party like all other characters. So I'm gonna ask him to join me. Also, I'm not sure if he's able to fight, but I'm gonna give him a little... So what about this lollipop? I think that'll be pretty cute. So let me give that to him. And as you can see, if I take a look at his equipment now, he does have the lollipop. So let's go do some fighting. Alright, so let's check that out. So of course we're not gonna go for any big monsters or anything like that. We're gonna stick to woolies. So let's see how that goes. Oh, wait, there's... Oh, I'm not sure what they're doing. Oh yeah, so he... Oh wow, he's pretty strong. Oh, good job, level up. So yes, your child can fight. I don't know how strong they can get, but yeah, he should be already level 3. So yeah, I'm confident he's gonna grow to be super strong. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on that as I play more and I level him up. And I'm gonna tell you guys if he's a good companion to bring on your adventures. But you know what, guys? Actually, in Rune Factory 5, you can have more than one child. And for that to happen, you need to wait 1 year from the birth date of your first child. So I'm gonna see you guys in 1 year. Alright, so it's now been 1 year since the birth of my first child. So it's now, actually, we're on the 21st of winter on the 8th year. And then you just chat with your spouse. So your spouse will ask you if you want to expand your family and get a sibling for your child. So you can either say yes, or you can say that you just want to keep the family as it is. So if you pick the second option, it's gonna be just like for your first child. So every week your spouse is gonna ask you again. So yeah, you can say no, and later if you change your mind, you'll still be able to have a child. But for this case, we're gonna say yes. Alright, so 2 weeks later, once again, same thing. You just talk to your spouse, and she's not feeling very well, just like the first time. So there's gonna be a little cutscene where you go to the clinic. And then after the cutscene, you need to chat with your spouse once again. So just like the first time, they're gonna be chatting about the gender. And then your spouse is gonna ask your child, which gender would you like? And your child is gonna say, I would like both. And then your spouse is gonna say, oh, it would be nice to have twins. What do you think? So you could say, yeah, maybe we could have both. Or we could say like either way, doesn't matter. But actually, no matter the option that you pick, you will always have twins. So actually in Rune Factory 5, you will have always one child the first time, and then 2 children the second time. So you will have 3 children in total. So first you gotta pick the personality for the boy, and you cannot pick the same personality as the first one. So I'm gonna pick a quiet one. And for the girl, you've got the 3 personalities again. So there's energetic, there's mature, and quiet. So let's pick the mature one. And so yeah, you just get to pick the personalities for 2 children, and then you need to wait 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, you guys know what happens. Same as usual, just talk to your spouse. There's gonna be a cutscene, and you're gonna have 2 new babies. And here they are. And actually, one little thing to note is that the babies are gonna have your spouse hair color. So the first baby is gonna have your hair color, but the twins will have your spouse hair color. And once again, you can pick their name. They also have some names by default, so I'm just gonna keep the default names for now. And same as with your first child, you then get a cutscene where you show your babies to everybody. So here are the 3 children, and they all look super cute. Alright, so after all the cutscenes, there are quite a few interesting things to note. So first of all, we skipped another 5 years, so we're now on year 14. And as you can see on my calendar, I have the birth date of my 2 new children. And look at this bed. It kind of looks a little bit odd, like the format of the bed. I wish you had like bunk beds or something. I don't know, it just looks a little bit lazy how they did this, because they kept the same model. They just kind of rotated and added a few pillows. But anyway, so that's how the children bed looks like. And let's see what the children look like. So here they are. Once again, they all look very, very stiff, but they're gonna sleep until 7 a.m. Alright, so they're starting to wake up. As you can see, they're actually gonna wake up at slightly different times. So it seems like there's like a 5-minute interval between each of them. And then they're all gonna go to the table and do their thing. I really, really like the dress that the girl is wearing, by the way. It's really cute. So now everybody's at the table, and unfortunately, there's no way you can sit at the table in Rune Factory 5, so you cannot sit with them. And of course, the twins will also appear in your list of relationships, and they will start at level 10. One thing to keep in mind is that you can only have one child at a time in your party. So I have this one with me right now. But if I try to invite her... Oh, actually, she's not letting me... Okay, so if I try to invite him... And actually, he's not gonna join. But if I ask him... Oops. It's kind of hard to select the one you want to talk with. So if I ask him to get out of my party... And I'm just gonna wait, and then I invite him again. Now it is working. So unfortunately, even though you can have up to 3 friends in your party at a time in Rune Factory 5, you're never gonna be able to have more than 1 child at a time in your party. So yeah, so that's pretty much how it is for children in Rune Factory 5. So I'm just gonna repeat the process very quickly. So first you need to get married, and then 20 days after the wedding, you'll get the option to expand your family. And then after that, you need to wait 2 weeks. Then you'll get to pick the gender and personality. And then you need to wait 3 weeks before your child is born. And then you need to wait 1 year and 1 day. And then you repeat the same process, but you're gonna get twins. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go to my other save file with Reinhardt, and we're gonna check out how you can have children in a same-sex marriage. Alright, so the process, and I'm not sure why Reinhardt is hiding behind the closet, but the process and the rules are the same. So you need to wait 20 days after the wedding, and then you need to wait 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. So I'm not gonna re-explain the rules, it's just the dialogue and the cutscenes that are slightly different. So let me try to talk with Reinhardt. I don't know what he's doing there. And so he says there's something he wants to ask me, yes, what it is. And then he tells you that he would really like to have someone else in your family to have a child. And then you get the same option, so you can either say yes or you can say not now. And then he's gonna ask you a week later, so we're gonna say yes. And then he says that he feels the same way and he wants to become a strong father to protect his family. And then the main character says, what should we do? And then Reinhardt says, you're right, but there's only so much feelings can do. Yes, right. So maybe we should ask Rivia. So what's gonna happen? Of course, they can't just get pregnant. So to figure out what's gonna happen next, we need to wait 2 weeks. Alright, so it's been 2 weeks. I'm just gonna chat with Reinhardt. So basically, my character is just asking him if we should go see Rivia, because of what we were talking a few weeks ago about having a child. So we say, yes, let's go see her. So then you're gonna get this cutscene in which you tell Rivia that you wanna have a child, and she's wondering how we're gonna be able to do that. And then your spouse is gonna tell her that you really, really wish to have a child very strongly. And she says, if you really want it, maybe you can try to make a wish to the big tree. And so basically she says that there's an old story that the big tree can hold a magical power that can make a wish come true. So basically your 2 characters are gonna just try their best to make a wish to the big tree. So right after, there's another cutscene where you go to the big tree and you just hope for a miracle to happen. So you guys really pray, really hope together. And for the miracle to happen, you'll have to wait another 3 weeks. I almost forgot, it's been a couple of days. But after making your wish to the tree, make sure you chat with your spouse, because you're gonna have to choose the gender and personality. So it's gonna bring you back to the tree, and then you'll get the option to pick either a boy or a girl, or both are fine. So we're gonna pick a girl for this one, and then you can pick the personality. So maybe we can pick an energetic girl. So now our wish is done. And there's a voice from a fairy that says that they've accepted our wish. So from that time, you'll have to wait 3 weeks. So don't do the same mistake I did. Make sure you speak with your spouse right after the cutscene so you don't lose any time. Alright, so it's now been 3 weeks. So let's just have a little chat with Reinhardt and let's see what's happening with the big tree. And then you get this little cutscene with the little baby floating And it just comes down to you magically, and there it is, the baby. And then the voice of the fairy says, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys after this. And we have a baby. And then we come back to show our baby to Rivia and Simon. They are really surprised, but really happy that we were able to get a baby from the big tree. And then Simon is asking, are the two of you guys gonna raise this baby? And yes, we're gonna take care of him. And Reinhardt says, of course, as well. And she says, no matter the circumstances, I'm happy that a new life was born. And we should leave this baby up to you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're gonna take care of this little baby. So yeah, the miracle did happen and we got our little child. And yeah, they're both very excited. So that's a very cute cutscene. And then you get to pick the name. So by default, this is Erika. So we're gonna leave it like this for her. And then we get to show the baby to everybody. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. So after all the cutscenes are done, you're just gonna go back home and your child is gonna be there. So that's how you can have a child in Rune Factory 5 within the same-sex marriage. Of course, you can also have the twins. It's gonna be the same process, so you're gonna have to wait 1 year and then you're gonna wish to the tree one more time and the fairy within the tree is gonna give you 2 twins. I really appreciate that they took the effort to make a different cutscene and try to find a way to fit it in the story so that you're able to have children within the same-sex marriage. I think that's pretty good. Let me know guys what you think of this story of getting a baby from the tree. I think it's really cute. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for today's video guys. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the children system in Rune Factory 5 in general? As for me, I personally think that they did a really good job. I like that you can choose whether you want to have children or not, and if you do want children you can have just 1, or if you want to have 3 you can have 3, and you can choose their gender, you can choose their personality, so you really have a lot of freedom for that. I just wish there were a little bit more like interactions or things you can do with your children. I wish they could maybe help you working on the farm or things like that. Of course, they can join your party and help you in battle, but I wish they could like water the crops or something, take care of the animals. But yeah, they're pretty cute and it's pretty good. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it for today's video guys. Please click like and subscribe if you'd like to see more Rune Factory 5 content like this, and I'm gonna see you all in the next video.